In this video, I'm going to be talking about all the changes that have been made by the Canadian government that directly affects foreign workers. Then I would also be sharing my own personal tips and tricks that I feel like would be very beneficial to you to navigate the new policies in your favor. Hi lovely people, welcome back to another interesting video. Thank you so much for your love on my previous video, guys. It was amazing. Like, I couldn't believe the kind comments I got from you guys because of my absence. I was absent for like 2 weeks, and I didn't even think that anyone was going to notice, to be honest. But when I came back and I posted the video, the love I got from you guys, even via my DM on Instagram, it's amazing. I didn't know that you guys were such kind people. I am really encouraged, and I am humbled, and I just wanted to say I love you guys so much. Mwah! Thank you guys. So I'm going to be looking down to my screen on my phone here, okay, because I want to read out the latest updates from the Canadian government, exactly how it appears on the website, okay? And while I'm doing this, more like after I'm done doing this, I'm going to give you guys my take, what I feel about these policies, who it affects, and how you, who is probably negatively affected by these policies, can actually navigate these changes in your favor. So let's get into it. So I'm just going to be reading from the Canadian website. I will be leaving the links in the description box for you guys, so you can easily go there to read it on your own. So here it says there will be a further reduction in the intake cap on international student study permits for 2025, based on a 10% reduction from 2024 targets of 485,000 new study permits issued, and then stabilizing the intake cap for 2026 such that the number of study permits issued remain the same as 2025. For 2025, this means reducing study permits issued to 437,000. Okay, so basically there's going to be a 10% reduction in the current percentage of international student permits that are approved, that are usually approved on a yearly basis. Okay, according to this piece of information I have here in my hand, the target for 2024 was about 485,000 students, but come 2025 there will be a reduction to 437,000, which is a reduction of almost 5,000 students. Okay, secondly, they will be updating the postgraduate work permit program this fall to better align with immigration goals and labor market needs. They will be limiting work permit eligibility later this year to spouses of master's students to only those whose program is at least 16 months in duration. Before now in Canada, as a student, whether your course is a master's or not, as long as it's a 1 year or 2 years after you graduate, you get postgraduate work permits, okay? And after that, your spouse can actually apply for an open work permit, which is a spousal open work permit, also known as the SOWP. But now you need to apply for a master's degree program before your spouse can actually qualify. As a matter of fact, your master's degree program has to be in an in-demand niche, okay? Some in-demand niches include industries like construction, healthcare. So if your degree, that is your master's degree, is in any of these industries, then there is a better chance for your spouse to actually get an open work permit. And if it is not, I'm sorry, your spouse can no longer get an open work permit based on the information that I'm reading out to you right now. So they would also be limiting work permit eligibility later in the year to spouses of foreign workers in management or professional occupations, or in sectors with labor shortages under the temporary foreign worker program. What this basically means is that if you are a foreign worker in Canada, or you're about to come to Canada, probably you already have your visa, or you already have your LMIA confirmed. If your job is not in either of these 3 sectors that I'm going to be mentioning right now, your spouse will not be eligible for a spousal open work permit. So the only way your spouse can be eligible for a spousal open work permit is if the said job is in management, okay, or in professional occupations, and lastly, if your job is in the labor shortage industry. A few of the labor shortage industries include healthcare and construction. So if your job falls under these 2 categories, then you're in luck, because this adjustment does not affect you negatively. But if your job is not in these industries, I'm sorry, your spouse will not be eligible for a spousal open work permit. Now, I'm going to be briefly talking about the updates regarding asylum seekers. So there are some updates that have been made by IRCC regarding asylum seekers. Number 1 is that they are going to be implementing a partial visa requirement for Mexican nationals. They will be improving claims processing while maintaining the fairness and integrity of the asylum system, as announced in 2024. So what does this mean? This means that there's going to be a little bit more scrutiny into the asylum system, okay? So for people who are coming to seek asylum, there's going to be more scrutiny on individual basis. What this gibberish is really talking about in a nutshell is that Canada is going to be more strict processing visas, either study visas, even up to visit visas. Not everyone who wants to come into Canada now will be able to come into Canada, because there's going to be more scrutiny, and less people will be granted visas or granted access to Canada. Just to wrap it up, I just want to re-emphasize on some major areas that I feel like would be affecting a whole lot of people. Okay, it has been stated from what I just read that if your master's degree course is less than 16 months, your spouse will not be getting an open work permit. Okay, so you must make sure that your master's degree is either is at 18 months or 2 solid years of study before your spouse can actually be eligible for an open work permit. So for foreign workers, if your job is not in the in-demand niche, okay, that is where there is labor shortage, or in a management level as well as professional level, your spouse may not be eligible for an open work permit. I mean, it's really sad, because people who have already started these processes, probably even gotten LMI jobs, LMI approved. With these new changes, which is effective immediately, it can be difficult, because now if you were planning to apply with your spouse and your job is not in any of these sectors mentioned, it's going to be a very big problem, because now you have to travel alone or totally forfeit your visa. It's crazy. I feel like heads up should be given to individuals before such drastic changes are taken, because a lot of people may have invested so much money, invested time, and all of that in this process, only for you to come and then cancel this process with immediate effect. But anyway, it's Canada and it's their government, and they have the right to do whatever they feel is best for their citizens, especially with the election coming up in the coming year. The Canadian government is doing what they can to favor Canadians. So guys, what can you do if somehow these new policies affect you? I feel like a lot of people will be affected. So what can you do to improve your chances of still securing a job in Canada, okay, still coming to Canada with your spouse, and still making Canada your country of destination? So first things first, if you're coming to Canada as a student and you have a family who you probably want to come with you, then it's important that you choose a master's degree program. Not just any master's degree program, a master's degree program that is in the in-demand niche. Degree programs in health sector, probably construction, because this would make it easier for you to get a postgraduate work permit. First off, your spouse will also be able to get a spouse open work permit, and in the long run, you can apply for a postgraduate work permit, which would then lead you to applying for PR in the long run. This buys you more time, because when you get a 3 years postgraduate work permit, that's 3 years plus the number of years you've already spent, which is going to be a minimum of probably 4 years or more. So you have more time to apply for permanent residence and stabilize in the country. Another thing you can do is to target provincial nomination in provinces that have more flexible pathways for workers and also for their spouses. Finally, one thing you can do is you can apply for employer-specific work permits, which of course would involve you first securing a job. While this might take some time and is definitely a little more uncertain, it definitely is a way to go for people who want to come with their spouses and maybe their job offer is not in one of the critical niches that have already been mentioned in this update. Okay, so if your job is not in one of the critical niches and you want your spouse to still come to you, you can definitely explore the option of employer-specific work permits, which means that you have to try to find a job for your spouse. Your spouse has to try to find a job from outside of Canada, and of course with you who is already in Canada or probably about to come into Canada, you can maybe use your presence as an advantage, leverage on maybe checking out those companies that can employ your spouse, okay, so that they can now apply for an employer-specific work permit. As time goes on, I will be coming up to talk about more updates that can favor you despite the new policies that the government have announced. So thank you so much for watching my video up until this very point, and if you haven't subscribed, maybe you should consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my updates. And I'm so excited to also mention that you can now join my membership, guys. I will be sharing some members only posts and content. Okay, of course I will still be giving you guys amazing useful content, because that is my priority on this channel. But if you are a member, okay, then it means that you'll be getting special treatment. You will be getting the VVIP treatment. You will be getting priority responses to your comments. Okay, I will be giving free CV, resume and cover letter reviews to some of my members, depending on which membership plan you choose. Okay, in general they will be getting the VVIP treatment. So if you can, why not join my membership? It's really for a token. I would really love to connect with everyone in my community as time goes on. So guys, make sure you join my membership. Until my next video guys, stay blessed and stay kind. Bye.